Hey, this is Nate Bargatze. I'm bringing you some of the best comics that you might not know yet, but you're about to get to know them. And don't worry, they're going to be on their best behavior. We shot this live in Nashville, Tennessee. It's the Nateland Showcase.
How you guys doing? You good? All right, good to see you. Good to be here. All right, cool. I love being a comedian. It's a fun job. I will say I'm a little discombobulated right now. I wear hearing aids, and my hearing aids are broken, so I had to send them in for repairs. So they gave me a loaner pair of hearing aids right now. Everything sounds so crazy. You know how it is when they give you a loaner pair of hearing aids. We've all been there. And so yeah, I'm a little messed up. No joke yet. Just letting you know. If I pass out on stage, it's not a bit. Who wears hearing aids in here? Anyone? Yeah? You do? Nice. I'd have a conversation with you, but you're too far back. You're out of hearing range. You're hearing okay back there? Yeah. You better actually wear hearing aids with a joke like that. You got moderate hearing loss or profound or what? Just a little bit? Okay. We're talking about hearing loss still? No. I had to. I didn't hear what you were saying. I was just using the visual cues. A lot of people say comedy's dying right now because of too many comedians are doing crowd work, but I don't know. What do you guys think? Had to go get a hearing test recently because I was having issues with my hearing aids. Man, oh man, what a nightmare it is getting a hearing test especially when you can't hear, you know, because you're never gonna pass. There's never any good news when you're deaf and you get a hearing test. You're never like, wow, your hearing got way better, you know? You been working out or something? Those eardrums are looking tight. That never happens. They're just like, yeah, you're still deaf. Oh, thank you very much. But I went in and my regular hearing doctor, my regular audiologist, he was on vacation, so I had some other audiologist who worked at the clinic. Mean dude, just like bad vibes. You ever go into a doctor's office and they just feel like negative? You're like, how did you become a doctor? This guy puts me in the booth, and he had a different booth too than my regular audiologist. Oldest, smallest booth I've ever been in. It was like 2 feet by 2 feet, tiny little window to look out of. I'm trapped in there like Hannibal Lecter. I'm looking at just like headphones on, little clicker, and he's outside and he's hitting buttons on the computer, and every time he hits a button I hear a beep in my headphone, my headphone with my hearing aid on, and I gotta let him know that I heard the beep by pressing my stupid little Jeopardy clicker, you know? And the beep's coming through, and I'm like, but I'm trying to be positive. I'm like, hey buddy, you got this. Today's gonna be a good day. Don't get down on yourself. And the first beep comes through and it's like, beep! I'm like, oh, amazing. Super loud. 1 for 1. Killing it. And then the next beep comes through, and it's like... Okay, significantly lower. Stay positive. You got this. You got this, buddy. I didn't hear another beep. I was done. 2 beeps, I was done, but I had too much pride to admit it, so the rest of the test was just me trying to guess when he was hitting his button. Finally, he was like, oh, DJ, the test has been done for 5 minutes. I've just been checking my emails out here if you want to stop hitting your button, please. This is how I knew he was a mean doctor. He goes, okay, so that was the test with your hearing aids in. Yeah, why don't you take them out now and we'll do the same test again? And I was like, well, I just heard 2 beeps with the hearing aids in. I think we can probably extrapolate based on that data, you know? Give me a 0. I don't care. Just let me out of this booth, you know? Give me a negative number. I don't care. Just let me out. Why is it padlocked anyway? What kind of a test is this? It's a mean doctor. Take your hearing aid. You never see any other doctor do that. You never see like a guy with no legs go into his doctor's office. Doctor's like, oh, hey there, Jimmy. How's it going? Why don't you just take off your prosthetics and we'll do a quick running test here if you want to. Quit your crying, Jimmy. It's running time. It was the worst when I was a kid because so many games that kids play involve hearing. You don't even realize, except when you can't hear like me. Like the game they always wanted to play, like when you start a new grade Or you go to like a camp or something, they're like, let's all get to know each other. Let's play Broken Telephone. You guys remember this game? Broken Telephone. It had different names. Some people just called it telephone. I always called it the game that exposed me as the deaf kid. And if you don't remember how it works, is somebody would start with the word, they would whisper it, and then the next person would hear it, and they would whisper it, and then you would see how much the word slowly transformed as it went down the line. Yeah, when there's a kid with hearing aids playing that game, there's no slow transformation. That word is changing drastically when it hits me. The first kid would always be so excited. He'd be like, I'll start. He'd be like, sandwich. And that kid's like, sandwich. Next kid, sandwich. Get to me, I'm like, Mortal Kombat. Last kid would jump up, Mortal Kombat! First kid's like, no, I said sandwich, something happened. I expected a bit of a deviation, but this is too much. Now they're all trying to solve it. They're like, how did this happen? Hey, kid with the giant hearing aids on, you got any theories over there? I'm like, I said sandwich. I don't know what you guys said, but you got no evidence. Yeah, I like being a comedian. I like flying around. I don't hear, whenever they call my name at the airport, I don't hear anything. I walk in, zone 1. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to, but nobody says anything. I point to the hearing aids, I walk right in. You gotta take advantage of it, you know what I mean? I get nervous when I get on an airplane. I'm not like a super nervous flyer, but I am. I get nervous before I even get on the flight. You know, because I'm a superstitious guy, and I watched Final Destination at a very formative time of my life, and that messed up my whole worldview. Like, I was flying like a couple months ago, and I walked up to the counter, and the ticket agent, she said to me, good news, you're actually on the 1:05 flight, but we have one seat available on the 12:05 flight 1 hour earlier. Would you like that one instead? And I was like, of course, thank you so much. And then the second I made the switch, I was like, oh no. This is how it happened, right? Whenever a plane goes down, you always hear about it in the news the next day. There's always that one poor soul where they're like, he was actually supposed to be on the 1:05 flight, but he switched at the last second, and now he's super dead. And I was like, no, stop thinking so negative. The plane you switched to is not going to crash. The one you were supposed to be on is the one that's going to crash. Those people are all going to die. Think positive. I get scared just in random situations. The thought of death will come to me. I get scared of choking to death. Choking to death is one of my worst fears, just because it would be humiliating. Like, people would have to explain, oh, how did DJ die? Oh, you know that thing you've done 1,000,000 times in your life? Chewing and swallowing? Yeah. He just couldn't get the hang of it that one time. Paid the ultimate price. I almost choked this was January, so like, I don't know, 8 months ago, however long ago that was, but it's etched in my memory because it was terrifying because I was home alone and I wasn't even eating anything. I was drinking a glass of ice water. Ice cube slipped out of the glass, went right in my throat, just immediately lodged in there. I was like, oh no, oh God, no. And like, I was panicking. I was at home alone and I was just like, melt, you know? Because I was like, the whole time I was like, oh God, if I can just last, you know? If I can just make it like 30 seconds, this instrument of death will become the one substance I require to live, you know? And the whole time I was choking, I was like, oh God, if I actually die right now, whoever finds my body is gonna have no idea what happened. You know? I just picture the coroner showing up, seeing my stupid dead body, just like, I don't know, I mean, he was hydrated, that's for sure, I don't know. Natural causes. Whenever you're looking at an autopsy and you see the person died of natural causes, that person choked on an ice cube. Remember that the next time you're perusing the autopsies. I used to do cruise ships. I haven't done them in a few years. Those scared the heck out of me, man, being on a cruise ship. Because you're just in your own little cabin alone. They put the comedian down in, like, you know, there was, like, the lowest deck on the ship. You're down beside the, like, big engines and stuff. There's no windows. It's, like, the tiniest little... And you're in there, and I take my hearing aids out to sleep. So I'm not going to hear any announcement if the... You know, if the ship runs into one of those Caribbean icebergs or whatever. I don't know. It was terrifying. Every night I went to sleep in my little dungeon room, I just took my hearing aids out. I was just like, Jesus, take the wheel, you know? Or the helm or whatever. Terrifying. One time, though, I was on a cruise and we were in really choppy waters, and I was like, I should let them know about my unique situation here. So I went down to the safety office, and I knocked on the door, and the head safety officer, his name was Roberto, big Italian man. He opened the door like 3 inches. He was like, yeah. And I was like, oh, hey, Roberto, just wanted to let you know, I wear hearing aids, so if something goes down in the middle of the night, like the ship, for example, I'm screwed. Like, I'm done for. Is there any sort of list you can put me on of, like, cabins that you check on in the event of an emergency? And he said, there is no such list. And I said, okay, well, that seems like a bit of an oversight, but I said, maybe if I tell you my cabin number, you could, like, personally come and check on me? And then he just mentioned something about Darwinism and shut the door in my face, so I thought that was harsh but fair. Thank you very much, Nashville. You've been great. Appreciate you guys. Take care.